Hey Ryan, what's your advice on what we should be doing with our films after they are finished? YouTube, film festivals, or other options? I think YouTube is a great place to put your films. Vimeo as well, anywhere where you can put it out for a community to see it and hopefully get feedback on it. Just, having something to display the work that you've done that, pushes you into the next one, whatever it is, or do nothing with it, depending on where. If you're just starting out, just show it to your family and friends. You don't have to put it anywhere. When you're just starting out, the idea is to do it for the love and the passion of it and use it to learn from. You don't have to display that for an audience right off the bat. I think that's one of the pitfalls of, where we're at currently, is everything has to go online and get views. That's not the case. Like when I first started with my short films, they were for my friends and family only. No one saw them, and that's a great thing because they were absolutely horrible for a very long time. And then I finally got an audience, but it still wasn't an online audience. It was just a local community, and I would show stuff there. And then after a while, that turned into film school, and after film school, YouTube became a thing, and that's when I started putting that stuff up. So I had a really long time where there was nothing I was putting out for a mass audience of any kind. I was making work because I loved to make the work and to learn from it and to look at it and see how people reacted to it, that I was sitting down watching it with and then going to the next one. Often not even what they had to say about it, just feeling the project through their eyes. And you don't get that when you put it online. You only get that when you sit in a room with somebody who hasn't seen it before and you watch it with that person and you see it in a whole new way. And I think that's 1,000 times more valuable when you're first starting out than putting it online. Now, if you're not just first starting out, you've been doing this for a while and you have work that you want the world to see, I think, again, YouTube and Vimeo are great places. Festivals are really good options. It really depends on what you're trying to accomplish. I think festivals are really great for finding a community that you can tap into and find like-minded people to do work together. So if you don't go to film school, which is one of the best parts about film school is finding that community, then going to film festivals, especially local film festivals, is probably your next best bet in finding other people that you can continue to work with. But after you've done that run, get that stuff online as well. If we shouldn't listen to critics, trolls, how do we know in terms of directing or screenwriting that we are any good and should keep going? There's nothing wrong with listening to critics. Critics are fine. People, there's a ton of people who didn't like Ballistic or Sentinel or Ghost House or Chainsaw or anything that I've ever made. And that's totally fine and valid. And I do read their comments and think about what they have to say and look at my own work. And sometimes there is a bit of truth in what they say. And I see, things that I hadn't seen before. It's just a difficult thing to try to be objective about your own work and know what's good and what's not. And when somebody's saying it's not, it's really easy to believe that it's just not. So it's really good to have people in your life that are, trusted peers that can look at your work and give you honest feedback and, support when you need it to be like, no, that guy is crazy. This is great. And also, we put out, let's use Ballistic, for example. We put out Ballistic and it's majority good comments, but you get a handful of bad ones and that's all that's in your head. So you have to be able to conquer that. It's very easy for us to fall into that trap and look at, yes, there are people that are liking this. There are people that are connecting to what I was trying to do. And those are the people that I made it for. Now, if that percentage is like 10% of the people liked it, 90% of the people hated it, you probably have a problem on your hands and you really need to look at that. But if it's slanted in the other way, even if it's 50-50, there's a massive audience for whatever it is that you're trying to say and accomplish. And I think that's kind of the way to go. You don't shut out people's opinions. I mean, you're putting it onto a public stage. People are going to have opinions on it. You have to be able to accept that, and to shut it out and to be arrogant about what anybody might think to, what they think means nothing is not going to help you as a filmmaker, and it's not going to help you as a person. And I think it is extremely easy to know which one are trolls and which ones just have a negative opinion. Trolls are obviously just being negative and a-holes just to do so. And that's very easy to spot. So, spot those quickly and move on. But with the rest, read what everyone has to say. I will say, though, if it is slowing you down, again, if you're in sort of the beginning stages of your career and you're still trying to build a thick skin and you're still trying to find your voice as a filmmaker and what it is you're trying to say and do, maybe stay away from the comments if you have to. If it's shifting who you don't want these comments to shift your voice, to shift who you are as a filmmaker, who you're becoming as a filmmaker. You want to be able to become that. That's why in the other question, I was saying, it's not always the best idea to put it out into the world. Maybe your stuff isn't ready to be put out there. You have to protect the development of your voice, just like a kid who is growing and learning, you're raising this child. It might not be ready for, general consumption just yet. It might be a time where you protect what your voice is and you develop it before you put yourself out there. So those are things to think about as well. I think it's a very strange atmosphere now. It's one of the reasons that I'm not huge on video essays, especially things where they take a trailer or a movie and they pick it apart to death, because I think those things are really negative in putting out an incorrect view of filmmaking, stripping the magic from it, stripping, certain individual ideas from it, where you need to be developing your voice on your own. And sometimes critics can squash that. So be cautious of that as well. I don't know. Take it or leave that thought. I don't know. What do I know? Ever played with 360 cameras, especially correctly? Actually, recently got my hands on the Insta360 camera, and it's kind of awesome. I've been messing around with it a lot. We're going to do an episode on it soon. I'm by no means an expert on it. I'm just now getting into it, but it's really fun and interesting. Definitely gimmicky. I don't know that I would ever do a short film that way, but there are so many very, very interesting things that could be done. That's like its own new, it's like how video games have become another form of storytelling. Originally it was just this side-scrolling shoot thing, and now we're at a place where video games are, they're not like movies, they're their own thing, but it's, it's a story that you're interacting with. And I think that VR could absolutely become yet another genre, another, path of very unique and very interesting and immersive storytelling. How do you go about creating a professional show reel for directing, DPing, editing, etc., and do's and don'ts I should be aware of? I would say the number one do and don't is add your best work, leave out everything else. I see a lot of demo reels where just to fill out a song, or they think it needs to be a certain length, that there's shots in there that are not the best and should not be. Your demo reel, your show reel, especially as a DP, should be all of your best work. It's a thing that shows what you can do when you're firing on all cylinders, because whatever you put in there, that's what I think you're telling me. So if you put something in there that's slightly out of focus, that is a little overexposed, composition's not great, it's uninteresting shot, whatever it is, that's telling me you think that's some of your best work. And that is really concerning, because that is telling me that you can't tell the difference between this extremely polished shot and this shot that needed a whole lot of love and work. And we all have those shots. We all have, like, that's, even in your most current work, you're going to have moments, because there's moments when you don't have the time to pull something off quite right. But just leave those out. Those don't need to be in your demo reel. So I would definitely say it doesn't need to hit any kind of time length. It just needs to be the best representation of what you're able to achieve. Last question. What's your favorite practical effect that you've ever done? Explosions, right? Obviously explosions. Explosions are great. We blew up a car and kind of launched it. We set a dude on fire and blew him up. Yeah, explosions, man. They're great. Domain.com is all your website needs, including .com and .net domain names, and intuitive website builders, so you can start creating a presence online. They're affordable, reliable, and have all the tools that you need to build a new website and start sharing your ideas with the world on that professional website. No domain extension is going to help you tell your story like a .com or .net domain name. If you want to brand yourself online, Domain.com has over 300 domain name extensions to fit your needs from .club to .space. And of course, they want to give you 15% off their already affordable prices. You just use the coupon code FilmRiot at Domain.com's checkout. When you think domain names, think Domain.com.
Logo.
So that's it for today, which means it's time for my suggestion of the week, and that is the film 8th Grade. I just watched recently, finally. I know I'm a little late to the game, but it's really great. Like I said on Letterboxd, it's wrapped up in so much emotional honesty, which I think is a very difficult thing to pull off. The lead actress was really fantastic, and Bo Burnham did such an impressive job at recreating this authentic view of that age and that time period. It really made me remember what it was like to be that age and how awkward it can be. But what's really inspiring for all of us is he came from YouTube, and now he's doing things like this. And you have other YouTubers, like the YouTuber known as Mystery Guitar Man, making a feature which looks great called Arctic. We'll put a trailer in the links below for that. So definitely check out 8th Grade and the trailer for Arctic. But that's it. And until next time, don't forget to write, shoot, edit, repeat.